There are days when life asks us to choose between two things we love the most. For me, that choice was never between work and family. I chose to work because of my family, and somehow that decision has become one of the hardest journeys I've ever experienced. 7 months, more than 200 days, thousands of kilometers away from the two people who mean everything to me, my wife and my little boy. Every morning I wake up in a quiet room, too quiet. No tiny footsteps are running toward me, no little voice calling "Daddy," no sleepy smile waiting for a morning hug, just silence. Sometimes silence is louder than noise, because silence reminds you of everything that is missing. People often say, "You're doing this for your family," and they're right, but they don't always see what that really costs. They don't see the birthdays you almost missed, the dinners with an empty chair, the weekends that become just another working day, the photos you receive instead of the memories you actually lived. There are moments when I scroll through my phone late at night. I look at old videos, the sound of my son laughing, the way he held my finger with his tiny hand, the way he looked at me before he knew what distance meant. I will replay those videos again and again, not because I forgot them, but because I don't want to. Every father dreams of watching his child grow, not through pictures, not through video calls, but with his own eyes. I wanted to be there on his first day of playgroup, to help him wear his little backpack, to fix his tiny shoes, to hold his hand as we walked through the school gate together. I imagine kneeling beside him and saying, "It's okay, buddy. Daddy will be here after school." But life wrote a different story. Instead, I watched everything through a screen, a small screen that showed one of the biggest moments of his life. I smiled while watching, but after the call ended, the room became quiet again, and I realized some moments never come back. Children don't wait for perfect timing. They grow. One day they're learning to walk. The next day they're running. One day they need your hand. The next day they tell you, "I can do it myself." Time never asks if you're ready. It simply keeps moving. Sometimes I wonder, will he remember these months? Will he remember that Daddy wasn't there? Or will he only remember that Daddy always called before bedtime? I don't know. But I hope one day he'll understand. Not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday. I hope he'll know that every kilometer between us carries a reason. Every overtime shift, every missed holiday, every lonely meal, every sleepless night, every goodbye. It was all for him, for his future, for the opportunities I never had, for the dreams I want him to chase without worrying about how expensive they are. People think being far away only hurts the one who leaves, but I think it hurts everyone. I know my wife carries a weight that few people truly understand. She has become both mom and dad on so many ordinary days. She wakes up early, she prepares breakfast, she gets our son ready, she teaches him, comforts him, plays with him, take him to school, bring him home, listen to his stories, and somehow still finds the strength to smile during our video calls. I know those smiles are not always easy. Sometimes I can see the tiredness hiding behind them. Sometimes I notice the silence between our conversations, not because we have nothing to say, but because we both wish we were sitting in the same room instead of staring at another screen. I also wish I could be there when she goes out for a morning run, just like before, running side by side, talking about random things, laughing at nothing, watching the sunrise together. Those simple moments, they never felt special back then. Now they feel priceless. Distance has a strange way of teaching gratitude. It makes you realize that happiness isn't always found in expensive vacations or fancy restaurants. Sometimes happiness is simply eating dinner together, watching cartoons on the sofa, driving without a destination, holding hands, or hearing someone say, "Welcome home." There was one moment that stayed in my heart longer than I expected, a video call, something we had done hundreds of times before, but this time, my son looked at me differently, not with excitement, not with the biggest smile. He looked uncertain. almost like he wasn't completely sure who I was. For just a second, I felt like a stranger, and that feeling broke something inside me. How could my own child slowly become unfamiliar with my face? How could distance steal something so simple? Children don't understand sacrifices. They understand presence. They remember who reads bedtime stories, who carries them when they fall asleep, who wipes away their tears, who plays on the floor with them, who waits outside the classroom. And I wasn't there. That thought still hurts. But every evening I keep calling, even if the signal is bad, even if the conversation only lasts a few minutes, even if he's too busy playing to look at the screen. Because someday, those small moments may become memories too. Maybe he won't remember every conversation, but I hope he'll remember that Daddy never stopped trying. There are nights when work finishes late, everyone goes home, the machines stop, the office becomes quiet. I sat alone for a while. Sometimes I don't even realize how tired I am until I unlock my phone. The wallpaper reminds me why I'm here. 2 smiling faces, the reason I keep going. Giving up has never been an option. People often admire strong fathers, but strength isn't about never feeling sad. Real strength is showing up every day, even when your heart wants to be somewhere else. Real strength is working while missing bedtime stories, smiling during video calls after exhausting days, pretending everything is okay because your family deserves peace, not your worries. Sometimes I imagine the day I finally come home. Will my son run toward me? Will he recognize me immediately? Will he hug me without hesitation? Or will he hide behind his mother's legs for a moment? I honestly don't know, but I know one thing. I'll wait. I'll let him take his time, because love is patient, and relationships can always be rebuilt. I don't expect him to understand today. He's still little. His world is simple. He only knows who is beside him. One day, when he grows older, maybe he'll watch this video, maybe he'll hear these words, maybe he'll finally understand why Daddy wasn't always home. Not because I loved him less, but because I loved him so much, I accepted missing parts of his childhood to build a better future for him. To my son, if you're watching this year from now, I want you to know something. Every toy you received, every school fee that was paid, every opportunity you had, every dream you were able to chase, someone was working quietly behind the scenes, sometimes far away, sometimes lonely. Sometimes I'm exhausted, but always thinking about you. Never doubt that, not even for a second. And to my wife, thank you. Thank you for carrying our family when I couldn't be there. Thank you for being stronger than anyone realizes. Thank you for never making me feel guilty, even though I know you've had difficult days. Thank you for becoming the safe place our son needed. Thank you for believing that this distance would not last forever. I know love isn't measured by words, it's measured by consistency, by commitment, by staying loyal through ordinary days, through lonely nights, through unanswered calls, through missed celebrations, through waiting. You've done all of that, and more. I can't promise that life will always be easy. I can't promise there won't be more sacrifices ahead, but I can promise this. Every step I take, every decision I make, every hour I spend working has always been guided by one hope. Coming home, not just visiting. Coming home. To eat breakfast together, to walk my son to school, to cheer when he learns something new, to hold my wife's hand during our morning walks, to celebrate ordinary Tuesdays, to laugh around the dinner table, to build memories instead of collecting screenshots, because in the end, success isn't just about promotions or bigger paychecks or titles. Success is hearing your child laugh from the next room. Success is seeing your wife smile because you're finally home. Success is realizing that the people you love no longer have to wait. If today someone asks me what I miss the most, it isn't a place, it isn't a city, it isn't my old routine. It's the feeling of being together, the feeling of walking into a house that immediately feels alive, the sound of little feet running across the floor, the smell of breakfast in the morning. The simple question, how was your day? those ordinary moments, it has become my biggest dream. Maybe distance is only temporary. Maybe this season will pass. Maybe one day these 7 months will become just another chapter in our story. Not the ending, just one chapter. A chapter filled with sacrifice, patience, hope, and unconditional love. Until that day comes, I'll keep working, I'll keep calling, I'll keep praying. I'll keep believing that every goodbye brings me one step closer to the next hello, to my family. Thank you for waiting. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for loving me even from miles away. No matter how far I go, no matter how long this journey takes, my heart has never left home. Because home has never been a building. Home has always been you. And one day, when this journey is finally over, I won't remember the overtime. I won't remember the long roads. I won't remember the lonely nights. I'll only remember that every sacrifice was made for love, and love will always find its way back home.